every 60 seconds, on the dot with a tiny jitter. A workstation sends a POST to a server in another country, small packet, fast response. Repeats 60 seconds later. No human browses at 3 a.m. with the regularity of an atomic clock. You have just identified a C2 beacon, the compromised host calling home. Welcome to Network Forensics, where PCAPs, NetFlow, and Wireshark filters reveal what the attacker was doing from the moment the connection opened to the second the data left your network. Packet capture formats: PCAP, the original libpcap format, .PCAP extension, PCAP next generation, modern format with multiple interfaces, comments, enhanced metadata, .PCAPNG extension, both supported by Wireshark, tcpdump, and every network forensic tool. Wireshark display filter syntax. The exam tests these: ip.adr equals quad dotted address, source or destination, ip.src, source only, ip.dst, destination only, ip.adr equals subnet/24, entire subnet. Protocol filters: TCP, UDP, HTTP, HTTPS or SSL or TLS, DNS, FTP, SMTP, SSH, ICMP. Port filters: TCP.port equals 80, TCP.dst port equals 443. Content filters: HTTP.requested.method equals quote POST quote. HTTP contains quote password quote. Frame contains quote SELECT quote. Any frame with SQL DNS.qri.name contains quote evil quote. tcpdump, the command line capture tool. tcpdump-i interface, quote, capture on a specific interface, tcpdump-i interface-w, filename.pcap, write to file, tcpdump-r filename, read from file. Filters by host: tcpdump-i interface host IP address. Filters by port: tcpdump-i interface port 80. Filters by protocol: tcpdump-i interface TCP or UDP port 53 for DNS. The -NN flag disables hostname and port name resolution, shows raw IPs and port numbers. Frequently tested on the exam: capture with verbose output, tcpdump-i interface-nn-v, limit packet count, tcpdump-i interface-c1000-w, capture.pcap, filter outbound from a subnet, tcpdump-i interface src net 10.0.0.0/8, capture http post payload, tcpdump-i interface-a, port 80 pipe grep-820 quote, post quote. NetFlow versus full PCAP, know the trade-off. NetFlow and the IETF standard IP fix provide traffic metadata, source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, protocol, bytes, packets, start and end time. Without capturing the actual packet payload, full PCAP captures everything, including the payload. Comparison. Content: NetFlow has metadata only. PCAP has the full payload. Storage: NetFlow is 100 to 1000 times smaller. Encryption: NetFlow works regardless. PCAP payload is unreadable when encrypted. Retention: NetFlow practical for weeks to months. PCAP only hours to days. Attribution: both. Content analysis: only PCAP. Legal: NetFlow is less sensitive. PCAP contains PII and content. Tools: NTOPNG, NFDump and NFCAPD, PRTG, SolarWinds, NTA, Elastic Stack as seam backend. Use NetFlow for long-term retention. Use PCAP when you need the payload. IDS and IPS log analysis. Snort, the classic open source intrusion detection. Rule format: action, protocol, source, direction, destination, options. Options include MSG, content, SID, flags, D-size. Snort rule, SID, signature ID, uniquely identifies each rule. Local rules use SID 1 million and above. Suricata, open source. Multi-threaded, compatible with Snort rules. Output format: EVE JSON, the modern standard. easily ingested by ELK and SIEM. Suricata EVE entries contain timestamp, event type, source and destination, IP and port, protocol, plus alert details, action, signature, ID, signature name, category. Example, signature, ET Trojan possible Cobalt Strike beacon. Category, a network Trojan was detected. Always correlate IDS alerts with the actual PCAP. The alert tells you something happened. The PCAP shows you what? C2 beaconing detection. The bread and butter of network forensics. Beaconing is periodic communication from a compromised host to a C2 server, indicators, regular intervals, traffic at precise intervals, every 60 seconds, every 5 minutes, unlike human browsing, small payload, heartbeat packets, occasional large responses when commands are delivered, consistent destination, same IP or domain repeatedly contacted, non-business hours, traffic at 3 a.m. when no users are active, low entropy domains, DGA domains, random looking strings, Wireshark filter to find regular connections, IP.dst equals suspicious IP and TCP.flags.push equals 1. Look for jitter, small variations around an interval. If connections occur every 60 plus or minus 5 seconds, likely a beacon with jitter to avoid detection. Compare connection timestamps. Differences should cluster around the interval. Tools, RITA, Real Intelligence Threat Analytics from Black Hills, AC Hunter, both specifically built for beacon detection. DNS tunneling. Attackers encode data in DNS queries to exfiltrate or bypass firewalls. Why it works? DNS is almost always allowed outbound. Looks legitimate. Indicators. Unusually long query names. Normal DNS is under 50 characters. Tunneling often over 100. High-frequency DNS queries for subdomains of a single domain. Query types, TXT, null, private. Rarely used legitimately. Large DNS response payloads. Single base domain with many unique subdomains queried. Wireshark filter, dnns.qry.name.len greater than 50. dns.qri.type equals 16 txt records. dns.qri.type equals 10 null records. tcpdump-i interface-nn port 53-bwdnas capture. NXDOMAIN analysis is also critical. High rate of NXDOMAIN responses from a single host indicates DGA activity. DGA malware generates many random domain names and queries them. The C2 server registers 1. The bot queries until it gets a valid response. Count NXDOMAIN responses per source IP. High count equals likely DGA activity. Network forensic tools to know by name. NetworkMiner, passive network sniffer. Reconstructs files transferred over the network. HTTP downloads, FTP transfers, SMTP attachments, extracts credentials. Use this when you need to recover files from a PCAP without manually reassembling TCP streams. Zeek, formerly Bro, Network Traffic Analyzer, generates structured log files from PCAP or live traffic. Key log files, con.log, dns.log, http.log, ssl.log, files.log, weird.log. Con.log contains all connections with duration and byte counts. The first place to look for data exfiltration, Wireshark, full PCAP analysis, protocol dissection, Shark, command line Wireshark, scriptable for automation, Moloch/Arkime, large-scale PCAP storage and search, NTOPNG, real-time traffic monitoring, Explico, reconstruct sessions from PCAP, CAP analysis, a PCAP visualization and statistics. Then SIEM platforms, Splunk, IBM, Credar, Microsoft Sentinel, Elastic SIEM, Graylog, for timeline reconstruction across log sources. Network forensics fundamentals. Wireshark filters for IP protocol content. tcpdump for command line capture. NetFlow for metadata at scale. Full PCAP for payload when you need it. Snort signature SIDs, Suricata EVE JSON for modern seams. C2 beacons, regular intervals plus same destination plus small heartbeats. DNS tunneling, long queries, TXT records, NXDOMAIN floods. NetworkMiner for file extraction. Zeek for structured logs. Next up, Objective 8.2. Wireless and intrusion forensics. 802.11 frame types, evil twin attacks, DHCP log correlation, the other half of the network forensic discipline.